Hey y'all. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Just let me make sure you can see. Oh. Let's see what I'm doing here. How's everybody doing today? All right, let's do this. This is what was the tricky part last time. I know this is a little makeshift, but it's literally the fastest and easiest way for me to just get the training into your hands. So, let me see here. Kristen, I don't know if you're on, but if you hopped in here, can you just let me know if you can hear the audio, okay? Please? There we go. Okay, good. All right, so today's lesson, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Today's lesson is actually just on the reporting and retention model. So what I want to do real quick is show you guys what I had in there before. When I did Brian Anderson's training, essentially what I had showed the group was the full thing front to back. And what was cool about that was I got to show you guys, the complete picture, 360. But what's happened is there's a couple nuances about the reporting that you guys need to know. A few of you, I've just gone ahead and given you access to this, and if you want to sign up for PandaDoc, it's just PandaDoc. It's pandadoc.com, and I have what's called a partner account with them. So what that allows me to do is, if you guys go ahead and sign up for a free trial, I can import this template into your account for you. So I can basically do a file share with you, and then this will be a template inside of your account. You do not have to do this to have success with it, so you can just redo this in Excel or Word or however you see fit, or just email it to them. I mean, that's what I started off doing. So, but at some point you want to talk about ROI, because that's really what you're selling. And after you get your first case study, after you do your first month, month 1, month 2, month 3, you want to track this stuff so that you can turn around and use it as your marketing material. It's the only thing that new clients care about. If you're selling leads and if you're selling ROI, then what you have to do is show your results. Like you have to lead with results to get new clients. That is by far the best way. They really don't care about you or your branding or your logo or how fancy you are with Facebook ads. If you can deliver the stuff, they will pay you money. That's as bare bones as I can make it for you. So a couple things about this report. So I'm not going to go through like the actual numbers of it per se, because it's just math. I'll give you the top line numbers, but what's more important to me is why we would do this. Because what happens is the client, once they start getting leads, they get really excited at first, and then they just start to focus on selling. Okay, so if you're doing your job, they're not going to be on the phone with you like a whole lot each week. But we do two things. We make an attempt each week to just deliver an email that's got a template in it, and I'll bring that up in a different little screen here for you to show you what that is. So once a week we send them just a quick check-in email, and then once a month we send them an ROI summary if we can get the sales data, and we track everything in our power, meaning all the stuff that we have access to and that we control, but we don't we don't always have their sales figures because, again, they're busy and they might not even know it, or their staff hasn't gotten around to it or whatnot. So we take it as far as we can take it, and then we email them and ask them, hey, do you want for us to generate this ROI summary document for the month? We can just give you the numbers if you're happy with that, but we can also go and do this for you. And in fact, if you'd like to do that with us, we'll get on the phone with you and make it step-by-step easy. You just got to know what your sales numbers are. And so we offer to do that for them. But essentially, we don't really have like any fancy or advanced way to do that. In my opinion, it's an opportunity for you to actually like get on the phone with the client and just essentially say, I think that your campaign is either going great, or it needs work, or it's tanking. Those are the three things that you want to get across to them, because if it's going great, you have the opportunity to either continue things going, and that means your next month's fee is like totally justifiable. If things need tuning, they're going to see that as valuable, and they're going to be getting some business from it. But again, that's how you're going to justify your fee. And if it's going awful, then something's wrong. They're either not selling on their end, or the offer is wrong, or the video isn't compelling enough, and you need to talk with them about that to get it fixed if they're going to stick around. So those are the three reasons why we want to make sure and get a temperature check at least once a month. Okay, so let me show you a draft of the email that we send, and if you can't see this real well, I'll read it. So this is a draft of an email of a weekly email that we send out, and now my campaign manager just uses this template. Okay, so I'll read it off to you. Hey Noah, I just wanted to touch base and share the results from your, in this case we did a free trial for this client because we were in a new vertical. Here are the results, the key results from the campaign so far. The campaign has been running for 7 days and we spent $200 to date. Okay, so length of time and the amount of ad spend that we spent. In that time period, the ad was seen by 19,394 people on Facebook. That is just the impressions, so how many people had the ad show up in their newsfeed. Super straightforward. Of those 19,394 people, we had 171 people click on the ad for a cost per click of $1.17. Now the narrative on that should have been like, and what my campaign manager does now, this is an older email, but what she does now is she says, and we're super happy with that cost per click, because if we're getting clicks at $1.17 and they're relevant, we'll take that all day long. $100 gets 100 clicks. Super stoked with that. The KPI that we're looking for is clicks between $1 and $2, and then we want leads for between $3 and $5 if we can get that, cost per lead to between $3 and $5. 5 people signed up for the offer for a cost per lead of $40. So, again, the narrative here should be, we'd love to get that down to at least $5 per lead. But this was a brand new campaign, and the video wasn't good and the offer was not good, so I'm actually not surprised by this. He just got really, really stingy with it at the beginning. So this was a while ago. I'm just giving you guys an example. So like really, for our home run clients, these numbers would be a lot better. But again, after a week, sometimes this happens. Sometimes you got to go back and say, hey, if you want to pay $40 a lead and you're happy with that, that's cool. But I think if you improve the offer and strengthen the offer and got your video a little more dialed, we could get that way down. We could cut it down by, to a fourth of what it is right now, or better, or an eighth, So then the narrative kicks in down here, and it says, if we assume a new customer has a value of around $300, in month 1, she means, and your sales guy is able to close just 2 of the 5 leads into members at the end of their trial, the campaign would profit over $400 for the past 7 days. So again, we're connecting the dots for them. That's all we're doing in these weekly reporting emails. And then the monthly one, we're really connecting the dots for them. So that, and then, Betsy goes on to say, that definitely makes Facebook leads a good fit for your gym. So you can see, even at $40 per lead, the math still makes sense because they have a strong sales guy, inside the gym. And he told us he can close about 50% of the people that come. So, hey Trent, thanks for joining. Brian Anderson, what's up, dude? So this last email just addresses what I sort of said up here, but there are a couple of areas we think could be improved to produce higher conversions into leads. Specifically, we might want to strengthen the offer or change the video. And I actually told her to rewrite that and say, we have to strengthen the offer and improve the video. So I didn't want to leave that open-ended like, oh, we could do these things. It's like, nope, we're the experts. This is what's, if that makes sense. One sec. Okay, so let me know when you're free to talk tomorrow, and I can go over what can be done to increase the lead volume. Again, you know, the money that they're paying us is for our expertise. I mean, anybody can go and fire up a shitty Facebook ad, but like, if you're going to go and do this business, do not be afraid to say, we need to get on the phone and so that we can talk through this, because I know exactly what to do to improve this offer and improve the video, and that's going to improve your leads. And it's totally worth it to do this, because then you don't have to worry about the lifeblood of your business, which is new leads, you know, getting fresh sales every month, getting new members into your gym. So when you start talking about it that way, you know, the clients really grow to see you as an advisor and an expert rather than a salesperson or somebody who's just an expense line, you know, in their monthly bookkeeping reports. Okay, so this is how we keep that, you know, at the beginning we set them up right. This is how we keep that whole level of expertise as a, you know, as a perceived advisor in their business. So it's not complicated, it's super straightforward, but you know, when we show them their leads list, and they've got access to their leads list as well, and they're seeing what's happening, and then we wrap it up with this, and we're proactive about it, it snuffs out 99% of the issues that they have because we're being proactive about it. So once a week we do an email like this. You can just pick a day and do all your clients, and you know, it might take you half an hour to an hour to do them all if you have a bunch of clients, because you're just copy and pasting this and looking at their, you know, their Facebook ads data and their leads data from the lead sheet, and just popping some data in here, and that's it. It's so simple, right? Whoops. Here. So that's the weekly email that we send, and then at the end of the month, once the month closes out, we send them an email that just says, here's your data for the month, but we'd love to put this ROI summary thing together. We just need these sales numbers down here, right? So we know what the number of leads were, we know what the investment was, we know what our fee was and the ad spend was and everything, but what we don't know is how many of those leads converted into actual sales. So we need to know this number from you, Mr. Client, so that we can pop that in and calculate your ROI for you, okay? So that's when we can get this really down to brass tacks and show them that this is putting money into their pocket, it's adding to their top line revenue in month one, and it's adding to their top line revenue yearly as well. And when they subtract out the fees that you have, the fees look tiny. It's a no-brainer investment at that point, okay? So if you guys want access to this template, you're welcome to do that. Just sign up for PandaDoc. They have a 2-week free trial on their site, and then send me an email or post here in the group, and I have to actually like contact support to have them import this template into your account. So just let me know if you want that. Again, I just want to reiterate, it's definitely not necessary to have this to get going, so don't let this be a roadblock for you. Just get it into an email and show them some screenshots. That's good enough most of the time. But I use this as a marketing tool now. So these are dummy numbers in here, but I have real client ones where I have their ROI pretty well calculated, and I always bring that up when I'm doing my demo with the prospects. It's the last thing that I show them. It's like the first thing and the last thing that I show them in the demo, just to show them like, this is what all this, like, this is why you'd want to go through all this with us, is we literally are just putting money into your pocket. It's like an ATM. You put $1 in, you're getting 10 out, or you put $1 in, you're getting 20 out. Okay, so hope that makes sense. What kind of questions you guys have? It looks like Trent and Brian, you guys are the only ones here live, so if you guys have questions, let me know. And I think that's actually the last part of our little business model here, is just getting the reporting into their hands. Oh, and another thing that I got asked, this wasn't in our group, but someone else actually asked, what our average retention is, and ours is like great. We've got, it's around a year at this point, and I know that sounds a little weird because I've only been doing this for 20 months now, but most of our clients have been, they either have been with us for a year, or we anticipate that they will be around for at least a year. So if you're doing well with this and they have multiple offers that you can run so that you can switch the offer up a few times throughout the year, you can easily get a year out of a client. So that's about 12,000 bucks for the year in your service fee on the low end. And so if you're constantly putting money in their pocket like this, and they can take it, you know, they can take the volume that you're sending them, I would say shooting for about a year is a good way to shoot for it, and in that way, you know, it's fairly easy to book clients if you're in the same vertical, but retaining them is super easy if you're getting them results like this. So it shouldn't be an issue for you to do that. The other thing I wanted to mention was during the sales process, what I started to do at the beginning of the sales process, when I'm doing the demo and I'm showing the prospect this report, and they're like, wow, your gym client spent $2,000 in ad spend over 3 months and it got them $200,000 and added revenue for the year. And I go, yeah, isn't that great? You know, what I started to do was, when they ask us how much it costs to work with us, I say, well, typically what we do is we charge $18,000 for the year. But what I found is that a lot of clients who have never done paid advertising before, that's a big pill for them to swallow up front, right? And we like working with clients long term. We're in this for the long haul. We want to help you out for at least a year long to really get this, you know, sticking in your business and to solve this problem that we've identified, that you don't have enough new customers coming into your business every month, right? But what I can do is, I like working with action takers, and I like working with business owners who are a little more aggressive than the average business owner. And frankly, I want to work with business owners who get it, you know. So if this makes sense to you, what I can do is I can reduce the yearly amount to $12,000. And if you want to get started today, the fee is just $2,000 to get started, and that covers your first 2 months. And then every month after that, starting in month 3, we'll just charge you $1,000 a month as we go. And what that does is a couple things. The framing of your fee still seems tiny. It's only $2,000 to get started. And then the very next question they say is like, well, how much of ad spend would you recommend? And we go, oh, it's about 500,000 bucks in a month. So you're only out of pocket about 3,000 bucks that first month. But our goal is to get you to recoup that right away. And that way in month 2, you're collecting all kinds of profit, which is what we just showed them happened in this other client's business, right? And that way you get them to mentally commit from the very, very beginning. Because one of the things that happens is, if you play small and you're like, oh, I want to just get you started, and, you know, just it's $150 setup fee, or, you know, something like that, their mind immediately goes to the feature brain, and they start thinking about it as an expense. So if you frame it that, look, people who have success with this, they do this for a year at a minimum. That's their game, you know, that they get into it, they mentally commit, they commit with their credit card, they invest into it. It's an investment, it's not an expense. And so if you can see that here after what I've just showed you, and you feel good investing into it, I'm telling you, by the end of 2 months, we're going to be successful together, because I've looked at all the criteria and you fit the criteria, and I helped a gym who looks almost just like you do this. And so because of that, I'm confident that I can get you results by the end of month 2. But I need for you to take the leap of faith with us today, and commit just like we're going to commit. And I can promise you that we're going to get you a return on investment. And if, you know, we get through the first week, first 2 weeks, first month, and it's just not working, I will hit the refund button. I am not afraid to hit the refund button, because I want the numbers to look like this for you. And based on everything I've seen, I'm confident that I can do that. So I try to remove all the risk as well if I'm asking for money up front like that. So I just say, look, just get started with us, but I don't want you freaking out the first week because the numbers aren't looking like this right away. This takes time. Your Facebook ad has to season. Your Facebook pixel has to season. We have to tune the campaign to get it to work this well. We have to snowball your results through multiple months, through 2 months, 3 months before the numbers start getting really, really good like this. So that's the way that I frame it. And honestly, like most of the time, the top clients who are like my best clients who just totally get it, they don't have a problem with that. You know, I do get asked sometimes like, well, would you be willing to do like $1,000 in month 1 and then $1,000 in month 2? And I go, I'd be willing to do that if you're willing to get started today. And they usually go, okay, great, let's get started. You know, what do you need from me? And it's just a very natural progression of the conversation and the sales conversation. So again, this is a good reporting tool for your existing clients, but I think it's way more powerful as a selling tool once you have your first case study and you just lean on this like nobody's business. This does all the selling for you. So I think that's kind of it. Trent, Brian, what kind of questions you guys got, if any? Just gonna take a drink of water here. See if we got any questions. Okay, guys. So here's what I think I'm gonna do. Feel free to keep, just punch the questions in if you guys have any. What I'm gonna do is, gosh, I might just plan one last Q&A call, and I'll give you guys plenty of notice. Like, I'll just put it in the group that it'll be for later today, and that way we can wrap up any last Q&As. But if we don't have too many questions, I'm gonna try to make plans for something that you guys can dig your teeth into a little bit more moving forward. So if you guys really enjoyed this, like this is the last one of these that I'm gonna do, but if you guys have an interest in actually pursuing this business, let me know. And what I'll do is I'll plan a call for later today, and I'll explain to you guys kind of how you might take a next step with all this stuff. Because to be honest, I get people ask me all the time for help with this sort of thing, and I don't have the time to help everybody one-on-one. So I could either do a live event or a course, like a membership site course, or I could do, well, those are probably the two best ideas. So if you guys have an interest in really pursuing this business and making a business out of it, or adding it to your existing business, then, oh, thanks, Kristen. Yes, do that. Which one? A live event or a membership course? A live event would be in San Diego. Oh, darn. You'd have to travel to San Diego. Shucks. So yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that. And then Trent says, you mentioned running different ads. Have you tested birthday ads? I have tested birthday ads. I think for restaurants, birthday ads are fantastic. Oh my gosh, they're so good. With our massage client, Trent, we had some pretty good success running birthday ads for a new member special. Kristen said live event in Minneapolis. Only if you take me to a Vikings game. I'll do that. The Vikings defense looks raw this year. Oh my gosh. They look brutal. I'm kidding, Kristen. You don't have to take me to a game. But yeah, so the birthday ads are great because what that does, Trent, is I don't know how familiar you are with it, but it's an evergreen list. So you can just keep running that ad for an evergreen special and just keep it running and running and running and running. There's a guy by the name of Jason Bell who is an internet marketer who sells a course on birthday ads for Facebook, and he's got a ton of restaurant clients and clients who do it's like entertainment. So going out, like nightlife, going out kind of stuff, like anything entertainment wise he does, and that's what they do is they do a running birthday special. Yeah, okay, cool. So here's what I'll do, guys. I'll post in the group what time I can do that later today, and then I'll wrap my head around that, what kind of offerings I can put together for everyone. And then Brian, I don't know if you're still on, Brian, but if you have something that you're interested in with your group, let's talk real quick, and then I'll make sure everybody's taken care of, and I'll give you the best deal I can on it all. So, all right, guys, that's it. Any other questions? Just let me know, and as always, I can respond to them in the group. Just tag me in your question, and we'll talk soon. We'll talk later today. Thanks, y'all.